Good day to one and all. This is Dr. Sivaraman of iknowindices.com. Hope you are able to hear me. Let me display the PowerPoint presentation. Good day, Sandra. Thanks for confirming the sound. So I'll be presenting Asian session live market analysis for a new week. So it is August 29th between 5 and 5:30 GMT. We will track market using the live market code page. I will give the link for the same. You can open it in a browser. I just focus the camera over that of the live market code page. Hope it is visible for you. Now currently Euro is trading around 1.4493, 1.4495, 1.4467 is the low, 1.4502 is the high, 4 pips negative net change is seen. And GBP is showing about 1 pip positive net change, and both are making contrarian move in a very nominal way. GBP is showing positive net change and Euro is making negative net change. As a result, Euro GBP has made about 3 pips negative net change. So 88.53, 88.56 are the current levels in Euro GBP. Then in the case of yen, it is trading around 76.72, 76.75. You know that on Friday, when they gained quickly the levels in the case of USD CHF, USD yen, they dropped it drastically. A typical contrarian move, and that they have done it in order to handle the CHF yen crosses. So currently USD yen is trading around 76.72, 76.75, 76.66 is the low, 76.89 is the high, 12 pips positive net change is seen. So Euro and GBP are showing now negative net change, and yen is showing positive net change, and also USD CHF is showing positive net change of, it is trading around 0.8095, 0.8098, 8066 is the low, 8112 is the high, 33 pips positive net change is seen. When Euro has made only about 3 pips negative net change, USD CHF has gained about 33 pips. You can understand they intend to gain more levels in the case of USD CHF, recovering from that other trend reversal move, recovering from that other multi-year lows. Then in the case of commodity pairs, Canadian dollar is showing negative net change as the USD weakening move. It is trading around 97.86, 97.90. 97.90 is the low, 98.31 is the high, 24 pips negative net change is seen. And in the case of Australian dollar also is showing USD weakening move. It has come to that of 1.06 area, 1.0623, 1.0626 are the current levels, 1.0562 is the low, 1.0632 is the high, 50 pips positive net change is seen. So when majors are showing the USD gaining move, the commodity pairs are showing USD weakening move. So this is a contrarian move in order to handle the crosses. So what happened to the crosses? Euro GBP is trading around 88.55, 88.58. So it is just gone up to that level of 88.76, and from there it is making the slide. Then Euro CHF is one of the beneficiary on Friday, and from that 1.14 they took it up to 1.16, currently trading around 1.17, 1.173 to 1.1734 are the current levels, 1.1694 is the low, 1.1747 is the high, 41 pips positive net change is seen. So when Euro GBP is showing nominal negative net change, Euro CHF is showing positive net change because of the gains in the case of USD CHF. Then with regard to the yen crosses, Euro and GBP are showing nominal negative and positive net change, and USD yen is showing about 11 pips positive net change. As a result, the yen crosses like Euro yen and GBP yen are showing positive net change. So you find a mixed reaction in the market, that some are showing negative net change, some are showing positive net change. As a result, you don't define it either a USD gaining move or a USD weakening move. It is a contrarian move. And when they do contrarian move for the week beginning, one of the possibility is that the volume is very low. Otherwise, they wanted to hold the market and distribute the positions or accumulate the positions. Only then they wanted to make their intentional move. On Friday, they made a very quick drop and a quick rise in the case of Euro and GBP, you know that, and Then they started holding the higher level and distributed their buy positions above that of the initial high, and then subsequently they stopped cutting the high. So this sort of either way moves are expected even this particular week, because it is a week wherein you find the current month gets over and the new month starts. So let me just focus the camera over that of the PowerPoint presentation. So expected market moves for today. So we could come across the last week, the volatile moves to prevail. So swing and firm up moves are expected during that of Japanese session. And so you could come across firming up in the case of Euro and GBP, and further firming up during that of the European session start. And then probably it could be a stoppant above that of the high, and then they are expected to drop. So during the drop, actively the denominator currencies are expected to participate, and they could make a quick drop and a quick gain during that of the mid-European session onwards. So like USD CHF, they could make a downward stoppant and then gain further up. And similarly in the case of USDN, a downward stoppant and then gain. During that time, you can do buy and sell trade or buy after the drop in the case of the denominator currencies. Numerator currencies are expected to firm up during that of the like Euro, GBP and Australian dollar firm up during early European session. Then you may initiate a sell, and during the quick drop you can buy it. But still you may not be able to do position trade. You can only do swing trades, because it's the last week wherein the volatile moves are expected, not the week beginning false move. So obviously you have to restrict your profit to 75 pips on either side. Either you do a buy or a sell, try to see that you grab the profit as quickly as possible. Then slow swings are expected during that of the US session, and you know that a lot of people are expecting whether QE3 is going to come or not, but Fed is not going to announce it. They are going to only give the selective support to that of the market, and they want the people to book profit rather than simply holding the positions with regard to the banks. So we will come across that how exactly that is going to turn around, because see, the banks are taking a lot of money from that of the Fed and also the government agencies, and they try to deploy it in the market in order to earn. And in the process, they are trying to earn whatever they have lost earlier simply by holding the positions. So invariably, you will come across some knee-jerk reactions could happen, and all might be forced to book profit, and in that particular process, USD may start gaining in the month of September. So you might come across, that could be one of the possibility, and it is not that I am giving any focus pertaining to that. That could be one of the possibility for the market to make a USD gaining move in coming months. Before that, you could come across either way volatile moves in the market in this particular week. Again, the high could be 1.45 area, and probably about 30-40 pips above. We may not be able to rule out. And then the low could be 1.39 in the case of Euro, and similarly GBP 1.65 to 1.59 area. It could be the trading range, but the denominator currencies are expected to gain the levels, and Australian dollar already they have shown the below parity area, and they are expected to revisit again as I explained it earlier, and that could be the first one to make the fall, to bring in more USD gaining move. Similarly, in the case of Canadian dollar, it is expected to go above the parity. So we might come across those things, and before that they are making the big beginning false move in the commodity pairs. So in a week wherein the current month gets over and the new month begins, we will come across either way moves and volatile moves. So we should be prepared for such moves and trade accordingly. Let me give the forecast for the rest of the days in this particular week. So 29th is today. I given the expected market moves. So they are expected to firm up during that of the early European session. That could be a sell opportunity to book profit during that of the drop during late European session. And tomorrow they are expected to open lower, and start making the slide during the Japanese session, and again gain towards late Japanese session, firm up, and then start making the slide from that of the European session onwards. Then again on 31st, that will be the month end, so aggressive volatile moves are expected to happen for the month end in order to handle the options and futures expiry and things like that. So on 31st, we could come across market opening very high and hitting the higher stops, and then subsequently hold high till the European session, and suddenly from that of the late European session, there could be an aggressive drop on 31st. So first upward stopping and then downward stopping. Then you come across first and second of the new month following this particular month in this week. So on first, the market might open with their subdued swings and suddenly gain that downward move from that of the late Japanese session on 1st of September, and we could come across aggressive drop and then a nominal gain and further drop during that of the European session. And on second, non-farm payroll is expected to be announced, and we could come across the non-farm payroll could be much higher than that of the market expectations. As a result, we could come across Euro and GBP showing the USD gaining move for that particular day. So these are all the expected market moves in this particular week, and the week followed by that in the month of September, you could come across more aggressive USD gaining move, and we may be wondering, so not much of a change in the economic conditions, why USD is gaining. Now all are anticipating QA3, and probably the people might be talking something else, and then probably they may call it as a risk aversion move, or they may call it as profit booking move, whatever it is, but ultimately USD is expected to gain during the month of September. With regard to the initial lows and the highs, Euro formed the low 1.4467 and the high was 1.4502, and they breached the high and formed a new high 1.04507. In the live market fourth page you can see that. And in the case of GBP, 63.26 is the low and 63.74 is the high. They are not breached it. So Thursday they breached the high in the case of GBP, but today they have breached the high in the case of Euro. Then Swiss franc, USD, CHF or Swissy, 0.8066 is the low. That is undisturbed. 0.8112 is the high. That is also not disturbed. Currently it is showing about 25 pips positive net change, and Euro is also showing 11 pips positive net change. Euro has breached the high again and formed the new high 1.4510. The firming up move is happening now. Then USD Yen 76.66, 76.89 are the lows and the highs. They are not breached. And in the case of Australian dollar, 1.0562 is the low. 1.0632 has become the new high. They just made a dip and breached the high 1.0624 and formed a new high 0632. So a nominal upward move has happened in the case of Euro and Australian dollar. This is mainly to handle Euro as it cross, and they may not be able to sustain the gains. So any such gains about 10-20 pips, you can just take a sell position and quickly during the drop you can book profit. And as usual, today GBP could change the market sentiment by making a drop, and followed by the Euro could make the drop from that of the mid-European session. Then with regard to Canadian dollar, 0.9797 is the low. They formed a new low 9788, and the high is 9831, that is not breached. So in the case of Australian dollar, they breached the high. In the case of Canadian dollar, they breached the low. A typical USD weakening move is shown. Now if you see, actually, all the majors are showing positive net change. Euro, GBP, USD Yen and USD CHF are showing positive net change as a contrarian move, and the commodity pairs, Canadian dollar and Australian dollar, are showing USD weakening move. So this is another way of making the move in order to handle the bring in swings in the case of the crosses. So alternatively, they make such moves, and if you want to trade effectively in the case of majors, whenever they are doing the USD gaining move or USD weakening move, focus on the majors so that you'll be able to quickly get profit. And whenever they are making contrarian moves, we have to focus on that of the crosses. So let me minimize the PowerPoint presentation and take up the questions which are asked here. Meanwhile, I'll focus the camera over that of the live market quote page. Then Matthew has got a question. How much Australian dollar can gain? Australian dollar, they just made a week beginning gain, and on Friday also they aggressively gained the level, and about 140 pips, and from there they are gaining about 50 pips. These quick gains are always false moves. Quick moves are false moves. They quickly gain the level and sustain the levels and start booking the profit, but without a stoppment they will not make a downward move. That you have to keep it in mind. So when they hold high, people immediately enter into the market selling that it's a strong resistance, 1.0625 or 1.0637 is the resistance. Then they may start taking the sell positions, but during the European session, they may make an upward stop of 20-30 pips above that of the high and then start making the drop. So whenever they make stop and move, try to take sell position, then you will be able to easily see profit in our trades, because there you will come across quick moves happening. So upside might be to that level of 1.0655 and things like that as a during stop and. Can we see 1.04 this week in Australian dollar? Yes, definitely I'm anticipating that. They are expected to make an aggressive drop because they made the quick rise. The intention is to gain levels without buying much from the other market and try to offload the positions. So if that scenario perception is correct, then they are expected to make a very big drop in this week onwards. And you know that commodity pairs lead the rally and lag behind and then reverse quickly before others. So now they are just showing the USD weakening move for the week beginning, and then subsequently they are expected to make the USD gaining move ahead of the majors from tomorrow or day after or from 1st September onwards. It all depends upon the volume for them to do the trend reversal. Then what do you expect of Australian dollar this week? Australian dollar probably 1.0655 could be the high, and from there they could make the slide. And you know that slide will be a slow process, and quick gains, they gain the levels very fast, and if you use the hedging, then you can book profit in such quick moves time using a trailing stop, and then take another sell, and when the spread is more than 100 pips, take another sell and try to book profit below the average of both the sells. These are all quick trading strategies. Then Anil, what is the forecast for the yen? Yen, they had done a brief downward stop and on Friday when USD CHF was gaining the levels. USD yen, they made the drop on Friday. That is a contrarian move again. Among the denominator currencies, both the currencies have participated in multi-year trend reversals, and USD CHF has come up fast and yen is to follow. And before that they have made the drop. Probably they may attempt another one during this particular week, because you know the 31st, the month end happens, so a lot of options might get expired and probably that might be the lower levels. So they may try to hit the stops there and just grab the money, afterwards start gaining the levels in the month of September. So yen, I think they are waiting for the option expiry to come in. Then M drive. If I am hedged from 43.50, when there was a quick drop on euro, should I close my hedge or keep until late European session? See, as far as the trading strategy is concerned, there is no need to follow any forecast. You can straight away use the trading strategy. Suppose 43.50 you have got a hedging, and that hedging is making profit. So in a hedging, to book profit should be near that of the high or a stop at entry. So you keep stop at entry. When they stop you out, then obviously you will come across the market coming down. Immediately you will be able to book profit in our sell position. In case the buy hedge is 43.50 and you want to book profit, then the profit should be booked at the highest level and keep another 30 pips above another hedging order. That way if you do it, then once they start dropping it, you can trail the hedging order downward and reduce the gap between that of the sell and the buy hedging order. So if you are hedged, if you want to book profit, with regard to the buy side, try to book profit near that of the high. If you have got a buy position and sell got hedged, and the sell happens to be a sell position, happens to be a hedging, then you try to close it near that of the low set for the day, so that the risk of further hedging will get reduced to a greater extent. Now quickly they gain the levels in the case of euro using some trigger. Then Jan Poco, what can we say about Euro GBP? Euro GBP, you know that they are handling the process. As a result, you find Euro GBP is gaining that level now, 88.78. They have reached the high, what they have set, 88.75, and then they have formed 88.78, and probably holding GBP and gaining the levels in the case of Euro. They are trying to handle Euro GBP as well. And you find all the four majors are showing positive net change. So when Euro is gaining, CHF is not dropping. So you find that Euro CHF has still hold around that of the high with 52 pips positive net change. So these are all contrarian moves, nothing big with regard to the market trigger and things like that. They are not expected to make an extended move. They are all nothing but the just gaining above that of the high and then start making the drop. That sort of moves are expected during Japanese session. And quick gains are all sell opportunities. That is what I perceive it. I may be wrong also. So Euro GBP probably 0.887880 could be the high. Then DTPT. What is the expected trend of USD CHF? USD CHF is expected to make less drop and more gain moves. So they could make sudden drop during that of the European session. Slowly after 50 pips gain, they have started making it reduce to 12 pips gain or a positive net change. Below that of the low, they might make a stop end. So like 80, 40 or 80, 32 and things like that they may show, and then quickly gain back the levels. On Friday also they did a similar thing. Quickly gained about 150 pips, dumped about 75 pips, and then started gaining again. This is to lighten their positions after accumulating all the sells. They quickly gain and book profit and drop again and start accumulating and straight gain the levels. So these are all the trading strategies of the players. So they lighten the positions and aggressively gain further levels. So that is essential for them to continue operating the market. If they are struck with all the positions, no free money available for further buying or selling, then it becomes a problem. So they have to necessarily book profit and re-enter in the market. In K-cut. Chances of USD CHF. Chances of USSF expected to slide to 70. I think Euro CHF, I think. USD CHF you are referring to. 79, currently trading around 80, 66 is the low. They can drop to 80 area Probably in order to hit the stops below 80, they can do it. But we have to wait for a chance. And probably if a lot of traders are holding long position, then they may do it. If a lot of traders are selling, then they may not rise it. They may not drop it. Then Arun. Euro USD, they gain the level above that of the initial high, and they are sustaining there. But GBP, they are just nominally gained the level when compared to that of Euro. And as I explained in the forecast, early European session, we could take a sell. Probably 45.55 or 45.75 they may show and then quickly drop. In that area, they could just make a stop and if needed, they may go up to 46 also if there are cluster of stops. Then DDPT. Do you expect Euro to reach 1.47? I'm not anticipating 1.47 at the moment because it is a weak beginning volatile move. So on the upside when they do it, and they have to do it on the downside also, a follow-up move from that of Friday, they are doing it. And you find that it has gained only 36 pips. Even though it is trading above that of 1.45, it has gained only about 35 pips. European session, if you see that they are only trading about 50-55 pips, less than 75 pips, then you know that the reversal is possible. If they gain more than 75 pips in change, then the reversal may not be possible. So that is how you have to determine up to what level they may gain the levels, then initiate the sell position. Buy and sell, you can do it if you are a disciplined trader keeping a stop and trying to keep stop at entry. Then in that case, you can do buy and sell trade using a trailing stop to protect the profit. See, those who are using the trading strategy, absolutely no problem. They can do buy and sell or a sell and buy trade. But those who are trading without a stop, they need to be very careful. After the gain, they can sell. After the drop, they can buy. Only that sort of trades will work for them. Then GBP could go to 1.67. GBP, when they went up to 1.65 aggressively, it has dropped. And now this time Euro, they are gaining. GBP, they are not gaining it. And mainly to gain levels in the case of Euro GBP from 0.86 to 0.88 area or 89 probably up to that level. And afterwards they are expected to drop. But during that particular process, because the next month comes, then the upward potency gets reduced in the case of Euro and GBP. So in that process, they may drop Euro more and drop later on GBP. By that way, they might be able to bring in the drop in the case of Euro GBP. Then USD CAD, what is expected? USD CAD is expected to go above that of parity. Probably they may just do it by a month end, that is on 31st in this month, otherwise by weekend on 2nd of September. Because you know that on Friday they made an aggressive gain in the case of USD CHF and drop in the case of USD Yen. So they are waiting for such good volumes to come in order to handle the market. So the possibility could be breaching above parity by 31st or 2nd of September. Then substantially Australian dollar could drop during that particular time frame. Then Matthew, when can we see 150 pips drop in Australian dollar? Very soon we should be able to see it because they consequently gained the levels in the case of Australian dollar for 2 days, Friday and Monday. Then all the gains could be lost by tomorrow and day after tomorrow. Then can traders look for position trades during from second week of September, probably the visibility will be very clear and you should be able to easily trade during pullbacks, taking sell positions, and during quick drop you can just book profit. This sort of trades can be done in the case of numerator currencies. Denominator currencies could give the buy and sell trade opportunities. So always whenever you do a buy near that of the low, or whenever they are making a downward stop and sell near that of the high whenever they are making upward stop. that you keep it as a very strict, disciplined system, then you'll be able to definitely keep stop at entry. And please repeat your view on majors this week. I'll explain it. Let me go to that of the PowerPoint presentation. The expected market moves for today: swing and firm up move during that of the Japanese session, firm up and drop is the expected move during that of the European session. US session may show slow swings and it might be very subdued market. And it's a week wherein you find the current month gets over and the new month starts. So either way, volatile moves could be seen. So today they had shown the upward move in the case of Euro and GBP. Probably tomorrow they can do a downward move, and on Wednesday again they can make an upward move, and that sort of moves they could do it alternatively in order to confuse the traders and also to build sell positions to buy back again during the month of September.